here we go. We are entering March Madness, and our 4 regions are named after our Brick World Expo shows. But let's take a look at the 2 sets we've got facing off now. Medieval Town Square versus Isabelle's House Visit. A very nice Animal Crossing set. It's got a couple of characters. It's got the gift floating down, which must be an element to the game. I don't know. But there we have it. A lot of people like the customization with the windows that you can do on this as well. Which one would you give the edge to be the best March 1st release?
All right. So without favoring a theme, I'd look at the price to pieces, and 3,300 pieces for $229 versus basically
$40 on this one for $389.
And that's your average 10-cent a piece kind of range, right? So that's not a bad deal.
It's not. 2 minifigs versus I think it's 7 in the town square, plus the gray goat.
Yeah.
So this one does have a lot going for it. I built it. Did not build Isabelle's House Visit. There were some pretty nice bits on the town square.
Yeah. I mean, just learning the brown thatched roof, it's basic, right? But it looks so good. But the way they went around that half moon window was really good.
Yep. Charlie Kaufman says town square for sure. Monica Berry tells us the gifts float on balloons. You shoot them down with a slingshot. I think of the Animal Crossing sets, Isabelle's House Visit's probably the second best set, but I don't think it's anywhere near the town square in terms of just sheer iconicness. But I don't know. We don't seem to have a lot of controversy here. Everyone seems to think town square is probably taking this first round.
I'll put a twist on this game since we're just starting, and I'm more of a D&D guy. I have 2 D20s.
Here we go.
And I would have contested rolls for the black dice being Town Square and the nice colorful purple dice being Animal Crossing. And I'll throw them in my little tower dice, my castle dice tower.
There you go.
And whatever... We're giving hash, I think price to piece, and then chats, this is just another factor to deal with.
Another factor to throw in, why not?
And it's random, and I can take this part off. Oh, Animal Crossing won with an 18.
Okay, there you go.
So if we're playing a gambling game, they get extra points.
Well, and you got to consider, right, that Animal Crossing set's actually the higher seed. How'd that happen? We don't know. But it was.
Is that the only one in there
that's really suspicious in terms of why it was seated so low? It is.
In the whole... Okay.
Yeah,
because I'd hate to throw it out without Mark being here. But rolling the dice, and we could tell that the dice is the only reason that they would survive. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, some people are saying it's apples to oranges, both of which you can get out of shaking a tree in Animal Crossing, apparently. We're also hearing that it's Lego versus Mega Bloks.
Oh, no.
Brick Orphanage suggested Mark do the seeding.
More like
no,
Lego
I mean, the
versus
selection committee did the seeding. But that one just happened to be, intentionally misseeded or not, who knows. The chat seems to be saying they're not even comparable. It should be Medieval Town Square. I'm also going to go with Town Square, so I think Town Square is going to move on.
Plus the price to piece thing.
The price to piece thing definitely is part of this. So we'll move back to the bracket, which is Stitch versus the Dark Horse. I will say that Stitch I haven't built, but I find the set to be utterly charming. Probably one of the cutest character built sets that I've ever seen. We've got our number 2 seed Stitch. Coming in at a decent price to part ratio as well. For the parts, we've got a lot of shades of blue, several shades of blue in here, versus the Dark Horse, which also has a strong price to part ratio.
Okay.
Has some new slopes But 27 bucks for this one versus 65 for Stitch. What do we think of this matchup?
The hair on the minifig's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Kind of a nice sweep.
How many stickers are on this dang thing?
This doesn't look as bad as some
Does
of the...
not, yeah.
Some of the ones I've seen. Yeah, I can see 1, 2... these might be prints in here, can't tell. But at least 2, 3,
handle,
4... 4 or 5 probably in the grill. So yeah, we're probably looking at, probably
I like
10 stickers, 11 stickers, who knows. So let's see. Charlie Kaufman says Stitch easy. Monica's also giving Stitch with a 100. Monica's a big proponent of Stitch. Brick Orphanage says, I don't like how Stitch's eyes are printed. But the cuteness is over the top. On the other hand, we have yet another car. So I think that means Brick Orphanage is supporting Stitch. So what do the rolls say? Let's see that dice.
What are the rolls? Okay, I got purple for Stitch and black for the car. 14 for Stitch, 9 for the car. So Stitch is winning the dice rolls.
Oof. That looks like it's a pretty clean sweep for Stitch, I'd have to say.
I would, if I had to buy one for parts, I'd probably go with Stitch.
Yeah, well, what else can you do? I think Stitch has got a lot of reasons why it should probably win this matchup.
Don't need any more wheels.
But let's move over to our second region, the Milwaukee region. I think there's going to be some more spice in this one because we have a couple that might be a little more interesting. So let's take a look here. We'll add it to our stage quick. You got the invisible hand here. 557 pieces. This one does not come with any sort of minifig, which I think was a bit of a missed opportunity on some of these scale ones. They did the bonus minifig for the R2-D2, which lost last week. Spoiler alert. And the Tontive hallway, but they didn't do it on the MIDI scale ships for whatever reason. So here we've got our number 5 seed, which beat Julian's birthday party last week versus the Super Technic set here, the Mars Crew Exploration Rover. Here we've got about 1,600 pieces for 150 bucks versus 50 bucks for 557 pieces. So again, around that 10-cent mark, pretty close on both. With the Crew Rover, though, we've got to consider that there are both little tiny pins which go into the part count, as well as very large panels. So it kind of ends up being, this one I think in particular probably ends up being about a wash in the price to part aspect of that.
I like the gray wheels, the very inflated kind of look. That new orange color that you were
Tomato
raving
soup,
about,
yes,
it's pretty cool, but not much you get there. A couple gold, maybe just that one gold. So I'm trying to think, piece-wise, this probably has the cooler pieces. It's not, it's just playable. It's got all these different things to lift and load.
Yeah, versus the hand, which is just going to kind of sit on your desk. We are getting some votes in for the hand, though. Charlie Kaufman says the hand. Brick Orphanage says the hand would win if it had cool figs. The Rover is fantastic. That sounds like more of a Rover vote, but it's close. Let's see. VMAX says the Rover is very playable. The hand is niche. Maybe that's supposed to say nice. Maybe it says niche. I don't know. But it could say either. Alternate candidates going with the Technic Rover as well. I have both sets. The only one I was inspired to build thus far was the Rover.
Okay.
I'll probably eventually build the hand, but it's not on top of my list. So what does Jesse and the dice say about this one?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the dice because I do not own either. Let's give the Rover the purple dice.
All right.
11 for the Rover, 14 for Star Wars.
Wow.
Star Wars is surviving the battle here, I would say, with its sleek, I think almost lightsaber hilt look.
Yeah.
Chip.
Well, the Tainted are going slightly with the Rover, but it's close. I'll give it a little bit. We'll go on to the next matchup. to see if anyone else comes in late and votes for the hand. Otherwise, the Rover is going to take it, but it's a close one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. For parts, yeah, I don't have any of those orange or wheels, and I know they're weird pieces, but I don't think you're getting much for pieces in this one. So, and like you said, nothing unique.
Okay, so our other matchup, this is the spicy one that Mark needs me to text him with if it doesn't go his way. But he is very excited, of course, about the Maple Polybag. This is both Maple and the beach cleanup.
Oh yeah,
showing up in the same one here. But
out.
Maple got all the way up to a number 2 seed just based on Mark's pure love for Maple. But here she is in the pumpkin garden, and our alternative.
So it's Animal Crossing versus Animal Crossing?
Yes. So we renamed the Milwaukee region last week. We renamed it the Animal Crossing region. Since we have, I believe, our 2 highest Animal Crossing seeds here facing off, Cappen's Island Boat Tour and Maple's Pumpkin Garden. 2 characters as well. I think they're both well-liked characters. They've got the adorable little hermit crab. I was in one of the CMFs as well. So yeah, and you know, the Tainted are already on the scent here. They say, I'm going with the Animal Crossing set.
Which one? I mean, I like the pieces in this one. The pink umbrella, the green coconuts, the white dinghy.
White dinghy, yep.
What else is in there? You get
got
2
a little
figs.
Propeller blade.
2 unique figs in my mind there, so it's like the fig is a wash for me because it's just, I don't know these figs.
Yeah.
So it's down to the other parts, and then even the rounded ones, this light blue and tan seem more rare than the green that you get in the Maple set.
Yeah, there's some green in here as well. I mean, I know for Mark, it's all about Maple. The figure, I think it's more sentimental than it is, you know, any sort of rational basis.
Right. I mean, there's some, and they're probably stickers, but there's little post pictures and stuff with that. This one.
But there you go.
There's at least 3 printed things that are sitting there.
Yeah, and I would say neither of these have great price to part ratio.
No.
This one here is a little on the low side at 233 pieces, but Maple's, first of all, you could only get it as a gift with purchase or buy it like I did. I bought a couple at Bricks and Minifigs for, you know, the polybag typical price of $5. But $5 for 29 pieces, you know, not particularly good there either. Monica says, I like the pieces in this one, but Maple more than these characters. So we got some more sentiment for Maple. Maple, just for Mark, give him a Brick World advancement. Woo!
Wow.
It'll be interesting to have
I think extra points are coming. I don't know. I mean, I would pick for parts this one, Nap Island. Let's go to the dice.
Let's go to the dice.
We'll give Maple the purple dice, the pretty purple dice, and pretty purple dice got a 13 to a 3. So Maple
that's a pretty big stomp right there on the dice side. We're pretty split here. No one really. A lot of people seem to be saying Maple for Mark, which is very nice of them.
Yeah.
The dice also gave it to Maple. I don't know. I mean, we've got 2 Animal Crossing sets.
Dice don't lie.
But based on the votes and the dice, I think Maple's actually going to pull this one out.
You know, I like a good GWP.
So Maple's Pumpkin Garden's going to pull one out here, pull ahead of Cap'n. And we're going to then have to move on to our 3rd region, the Grand Rapids region. We've got, I think, 2 of the hottest matchups we're going to see here. We have the Dragon Shrine from Ninjago taking on the Forest Animals Red Fox. And then we've got in the 3-2 matchup, the Tantive 4 Hallway taking on the Midi-Scale Millennium Falcon. So let's start with our Dragon Shrine. And I'll tell you right now, this Red Fox, my son has been building it. I can say I absolutely think it is stunning in terms of the design itself.
It does look spot on.
Very spot on. The other thing that's been attracting a lot of people is the alternate builds are
Oh.
also very good. So we've got, our owl here as well as a squirrel.
Oh.
So a couple of nice ones there.
Cuteness times 3 factor.
Absolutely. On the other hand, the Dragonstone Shrine for a set. This looks very much like it was a mock designed by someone in the LEGO community who loves Ninjago. The colors are great. The sculpture shape is great. It's got a decent number of figures. The price to parts ratio isn't bad. It is very expensive for what ends up being a fairly small model, but very beautiful on display as well, and very unique in that regard. So 2 very different sets. The Dragon Shrine being a number 1 seed versus the Forest Animals coming in at a number 5 seed, but both very worthy sets here. Price to parts ratio also very good on the Fox. Let's see. Charlie Kaufman says Fox all the way.
Okay.
VMAC Attack says it's unfair that one of these has to go. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the bracket system.
Yep.
Eventually, you're going to have to get to the champ. So I don't know. I mean,
the rest of them have to plan on next year.
Yep. One of these has got to fall.
So I have not looked at the Fox much. I like the parts in there with the colors.
Lots of orange.
The 3-for-1 is huge. But this is in my wish list. I have not pulled the trigger yet, but definitely want.
Yeah. I'm very split on this. I could see people wanting to and actually buying multiple of the 3-for-1 to actually build some of the alternate models. That is usually not the case. You could get a pair of the Fox sets and still have $10 left over for a couple of CMFs for the price of the Dragonstone Shrine here. So I guess it's an interesting way to look at it there. VMAC Attack says Fox is a better champ. More that can be done. As much as I love Ninjago, that squirrel screams just yes. Go squirrel. Yes.
Somebody's got to put a bow in its hair like Squirrel Girl's little companion.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at the squirrel with the little acorn there. Oh, here we go, though. Brick Orphanage says, the cute squirrel hops across your path and is suddenly eaten by a mighty dragon. Vote for dragon. So I've got 2 for Fox in the chat, 1 for dragon. I'm very split on this. What do the dice say, Jesse?
What do the dice say?
What do the dice say?
Let's give Ninjago purple because there's some crazy colors in that one. Purple is 4. Squirrel is 12.
Ooh, the dice say squirrel / fox. I mean, that's the other exciting thing.
Owl, which I like. The owl is probably the one I would buy.
Yeah, man.
Or build and keep built.
And I said last week when we were talking about this one that I think that the Forest Animals Red Fox might be the darling of the whole tournament. And right now, it's leaning towards taking out our beautiful Ninjago Dragon Shrine.
I gotta give it to the Fox, personally.
Right.
It's winning me over. It's like I showed up, Ninjago all the way, and then I had to like zip up my shirt and hide my Ninjago favoritism.
Our 3-2 matchup in this bracket, we've got the number 2 seed Millennium Falcon, $85 for 921 pieces, a midi-scale Falcon, the second midi-scale Falcon we've ever seen, taking on another Star Wars set, Morning of the Tantive 4, or Tantive, depends on who you are. I don't think they ever say it in the series. They just, it has a name and everybody's supposed to know how to pronounce it. I don't know. But here it is, 502 pieces for $55, but it does have 6 minifigures plus the bonus fig. So sort of a balance out there where, of course, the Millennium Falcon has no figures.
No figs versus.
One of the things that I've mentioned last time on this one and continue to say on this one is the last midi-scale Falcon was extremely popular. So much so that people were trading like UCS Falcons to get the little midi one secondhand.
Huh.
This one's more accurate in terms of shaping than the last one was.
Pretty good design. I think you get a new cockpit printed.
Yeah. I think it would display really well. I think it's the right size for that versus the hallway. And let's see here. We've got hallway versus the most common Star Wars set. All the while you have two great sets just above and one of them has to go. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. Charlie Kaufman says, I've got to go with the one that has figures.
Don't need another Falcon. Most iconic Star Wars scene ever. Vader coming through that hallway. And a unique fig, which I think is 5s.
It's 5s, yeah. For some reason, the Star Wars nerds really don't like that 5s figure. And I don't know why. I think it's fine. But a lot of them have just been saying how terrible it is. I guess maybe it has something to do with the helmet printing. I don't know.
It's all about, some of the helmet printing.
Yeah, Brick Orphanage says, Vader mowing down the Rebels versus 54th Falcon. I'm going Vader.
Yeah, which was what we needed, right? Some really fantastic lightsaber battles. You're right. Vader and Rogue One.
Where's your ambassador?
I think I did a time lapse of this hallway thing too, with like lasers going pew 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 back in the day. So I'll lean towards this set. I want 5s and.
Okay, I mean it is a close matchup, 2 versus 3. I thought the Falcon, is.
Would it be worth buying 2 and closing in this hallway? Probably not. I don't know.
It's an interesting question, but it looks like we've got strong votes for the Tantive. I'm pretty split. I think for display purposes, I'd probably rather have the Falcon, but there's nothing else you can do with it other than display it.
Yeah, I think I have a non-Lego-ish person at work that's like, I don't think I'm going to get that Falcon desk piece.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Comes out on March 1st. Go for it.
So I like this one, but right now it looks like the Tainted and Jesse are leaning towards the Tantive. Should we roll the dice just to see? Oh, yes,
definitely. Let's give Tantive the purple.
Luck of the Irish today.
Oh, 6 for Tantive, but guess what? The Falcon got a critical failure.
Oh, a 1. It rolled a hard 1.
Critical fail.
All right, well, it was set to be a spicy close matchup, like I mentioned, and what do you know? It was. We got a slight win there for the Tantive set.
Hey, win.
All right, let's move on.
Like a low score game.
A defensive battle.
Yeah,
right?
A defensive battle.
Defensive struggle on this one. Okay, we'll move over to our Fort Wayne region, our final region. There's a couple spicy ones here too.
Oh boy.
In this region, we have 2 of my favorite sets, I think, that came out this wave. Facing off in that first matchup. That'd be Snow White versus... And the 7 Dwarfs Cottage. It's not dwarves, I've been told. The biggest problem I've had the entire time is remembering the name of this Ninjago set. So let's pull it up. It is the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo. It seems like every time I try to announce or pronounce the name of this set, I switch up one of the word orders. It's, the Shadow Mask Wolf Temple, or the Mask Shadow Wolf Dojo, or the Wolf Shadow Mask Dojo Temple. There's not even temple in the name, and I still can't get it right. But here we go. I believe this was a 4 seed, I want to say, to take on our number 1 seed from this region, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs Cottage.
I will say I own the cottage. I have not built. I do intend to definitely crack the seal and put that in the medieval-ish area on my at-home area, and probably play with the dwarves, the D&D. Of course, someday it'll come up. So this is highly sought after. But I will to counter, to say that this is definitely a matchup, I favor Ninjago. I have that in my wish list. The Blood Moon looks amazing above there. Wow.
Lots of figures. Couple including these mean-looking wolf guys and this like werewolfy guy with the human face.
Yeah, his hair.
Yeah, so there's a lot to like about this set. The Snow White one though, iconic. Price to parts, they're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
There's some interesting newer pieces in the Snow White build as opposed to the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo.
Okay.
Though it has some unique or unique-ish colors here with kind of this reddish violet color as well as the dark blue leaves that you can also get in the dream sets. So a lot to like on both of these. Charlie Kaufman saying Wolf Mask. So I've got 2 votes for Wolf Mask. Anybody in for Snow White? Anyone going to defend the honor of Snow White?
I mean,
what do the dice say? Let's find
out. But the figures are so unique in Snow White. So we're gonna go purple for Ninjago here because of the trees in there.
There you go. Makes sense.
And purple is 12. Snow White is 5.
Ooh.
So we got a shiny purple 12 winning the dice roll. Ninjago.
Man, so that's a lot of momentum for Wolf Mask. Unless some people come to Snow White's aid. She might be going down in this intense 1 versus 4 matchup. Brick Orphanage says, the dojo looks like they chopped off the front profile of an awesome mock. The cottage is beautiful and complete. Right. So there we go, Brick Orphanage. Giving a vote back here to Snow White.
Yeah, because it's more complete. I do like that statement. It is just the facade here. It could be very more in-depth.
Yeah.
And probably is if it's part of the show.
I like both sets. I think I might favor Snow White a little bit, but just a little bit. They are very close in my mind. I would probably be more likely to build the Snow White set at least once. Dojo here, it's a great set, but it's probably going straight to getting parted out. I don't know if that's good or bad, though.
Yeah, good parts.
That could mean either, I guess.
I would have to build it because just to see how maybe the wolf mask head, kind of how they do that there. Yeah. The rest of it, it looks not difficult.
Boy. So I got a strong vote for Ninjago for Monica Berry, but here is a hard one for me to turn out and say something else. Z Spouse votes for Snow White. Ooh.
Let's take another look at that Snow White.
Yeah.
What kind of techniques are in there have you built it yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
But
is it complete though? Because it has this weird hinge.
Well, so the hinge lets you get more access. It is very dollhousey, as a lot of Lego sets are. But it definitely has more play features on the interior than the dojo does, as far as I know. You get all 7 dwarfs. Let's see on the back what we get with the dojo. I mean, there's a little bit on the back here, but it is fairly bland. So let's see here. I don't know. Okay, well, got a pretty hard split here. Let's look at our other matchup once again. This one's going into the 4th quarter, and we'll see what comes out of this.
Overtime.
This last matchup, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to say, oh, I don't like either, or I don't care, but I could be surprised. We have the Technic VTOL facing off against a Mercedes race car, which is the Mercedes AMG F1. First of all, we've got our black Mercedes AMG F1. Rings in at $220, so a heavy Mercedes IP tax probably, but 642 pieces for $220. Taking on the VTOL heavy cargo spaceship. Weighs in at 1,300 pieces for $110. Does have some cool functions. Also has the beautiful tomato soup color. on it. The functions are pretty cool. I also mentioned last week, having built this one, that it's much larger than you might imagine.
Okay.
And that sort of this back panel area here is built so that you can put your hand in it and swoosh it and control the functions with a couple of dials right here, as well as a mechanism for lowering and picking up cargo. Also has landing gear. You can turn the wings. So very easy to play with and swoosh with one hand.
They're gonna get a lot of wind in their face though with that windshield.
With the split in the windshield right down the middle.
Split right down, like you're gonna eat some bugs and space bugs.
Yeah, the AMG on the other hand, I haven't built. It is, I'm going to imagine, quite large. Let's see if they have a lifestyle shot. Yeah, you know, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Looks like it displays nicely. I'm not sure that's how I would display it.
Let's put it on this rolling rack.
Yeah, lifestyle shots are always funny in that regard. Let's see here. Brick Orphanage says, I'm not impressed by either one. Kind of what I guessed. But I'll go space. Fair enough. Let's see here. The W14 is Mercedes' first winless car since 2011. But it does go nice with the McLaren Technic. But vote for swooshability. VMAC always giving us the F1 information. Charlie Kaufman saying, not a fan of cars. I'll go with the VTOL as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever buy either of these. Or if I had a white elephant gift or had to exchange or keep one of these,
yeah,
I would probably keep the spaceship because it's more parts, right?
Yeah, it's 1,300 parts in this one versus 1,600 in this one, but price to parts wise, it's a pretty clear win for the VTOL.
Oh, okay.
On this one.
That's how much bigger that car is. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's got a lot more internal mechanisms, probably.
Right.
There we have it. Do we have a dice roll just to check?
Yeah. We'll go black for the car.
That makes sense. The car is black.
We have an 11 for the car. We have a 16 for the spaceship.
I'm going to say the VTOL is going to take this one. It's got the votes. It's got the dice. It's got the indifference of Jesse. And it's the one that I built of the two. So we're going to go with the VTOL. Now we're going to have to swing back over to Snow White. And do we recall, am I going to have to rewind which one won the dice roll?
I think Purple Ninjago won the dice.
Okay. Ooh, man. This is a tough one. I'm going to hold it for last votes here. Okay, well, we're going to have to call it right now. The votes favor the Shadow Mask Dojo Tempo. Wolf Mask Shadow
Ninjago.
Alternate candidate voted for it as well. There it is. A buzzer beater.
I ain't mad at it.
It's happened. Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo has taken out the #1 seed, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Cottage. All right, so the updated bracket, here we go. In our Indianapolis region, we've got Sham #8 seed, the Medieval Market, the Medieval Town Square. Medieval Town Square is going to take on that super adorable Stitch, the #2 seed. But moving out here, we've got the 1 versus 2 in the Milwaukee region as well, with the Mars Crew Exploration Rover taking on the #2 seed, a Polybag, Maples Pumpkin Garden. Crazy. And then in our Grand Rapids region, taking out the #1 seed, the darling of the tournament, the 3-1 Forest Animals Red Fox, is going to take on the #3 seed.
All 8 of those sets are great.
The boarding of the Tanti 4. Even with that horrible 5s figure that people hate for no reason. And then in the Fort Wayne region, we've got the #3 seed VTOL taking on the #4 seed, the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo. Whew. There we have it, everybody.